it's Ash from Super Videos back for another Q&A video. This is going to be Q&A number 54. So before I actually start this Q&A video, I just want to discuss something regarding the last video I uploaded. So first off, thank you everyone for their support and for the kind words. Now, just to make things a little more clear, I think some people misunderstood the video. I am not permanently leaving YouTube, it's just that I'm reducing the amount of videos I'm doing significantly, but I will still come back once in a while and make a video here and there. So basically, the amount of videos I'm doing will be reduced. So instead of doing 1 to 2 videos every day, something like that, I will only do like 2 videos every 3 weeks. So basically, I'm going to take out a lot of the discussion and reviews that I'm doing. I will probably not be able to do any kind of reviews for The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead or any discussion videos. That being said, there are a few videos that I will still be able to do, and this is not counted towards the 2 to 3 videos that I just mentioned that I will do. I will do those as well as these other videos that I'm going to talk to you about. So the weekly Q&As will still be there. Most likely in the weekends, I'll do the Q&As. So that's going to be there. The other is the monthly review for The Walking Dead's comic book series. That's also going to be there. The other is the promo breakdowns for The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, for both of those. So those are still going to be there as well. So after the promo is released, after each episode airs, I will do the breakdowns for those. I won't do the review for the episode, but I will do the promo breakdown for the next episode. So this means that the Q&As are still going to be there. The promo breakdowns for The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead are going to be there, and the comic book issue reviews are also going to be there as well. And other than that, you know, I might not be able to do a lot more going from there. So maybe just 2 videos a month, something like that. So that being said, let's get right into the Q&A videos. As always, if you're not caught up with The Walking Dead's TV show and comic book, you may not want to watch this video because it may spoil some things for you. So let's get right into this. The first question comes from the one and only bad guy. You ask, will we see old man Daryl in the future? That's actually a pretty interesting question. I think it's unlikely because as popular as Daryl is, it doesn't have the same effect as it does for Rick. Because obviously for Rick, he's a comic book character. He's the main comic book character. And, you know, in the comics, there's a point in time where he is an old man. And that's why seeing an old man Rick was so exciting and interesting. But I don't think that it will have the same effect if it's Daryl. Obviously it's going to be cool, but at the same time, what does it add to the story? I don't think it adds anything to the story. For Rick to be an old man, it adds something to the story. We've dived into the impact and the effect of it in the comics for Rick to be an old man. And I think the same kind of concept applies in the show. So yeah. The next question comes from David Sizemore. You ask, when Negan is talking to Sasha in the cell after he kills Rapey Dave, he says that he wouldn't respect a leader who allows rape. Could this be a reference to the Whispers and Alpha allowing rape like in the comics? I'd like to get your opinions on this. Thanks. Thanks for that question. That was a great question. I think it's not only a reference to that, but it's also building up who Negan is as a character. Negan as a character doesn't allow rape and things like that. So it's in his nature. They've already set that up for Negan anyway. So if we're not even looking at the Whispers and things like that, that whole scene with Rapey Davey was adding to the fact and setting up who Negan is as a character. And, you know, we explored that in Negan's backstory as well. So I think it's a big part of who Negan is, and that was just building it up. So other than it being a reference to what's going to come up later for the Whispers and stuff like that, it was also a way to set up who Negan is as a character and what he believes in. But that was a great question. The next question comes from Killer Hacks. You ask, do you think Aaron will get revenge for Negan killing Eric? That's actually an interesting question. We still don't know that Eric is going to die. We did speculate, but it's not 100%. So we're going to have to wait and see. So let's not jump the gun and make predictions like that. Let's wait and see what happens with Eric. If he does in fact die by the hands of the Saviors, Aaron will definitely want to get revenge. That's a no-brainer. But let's not jump into that yet. let's wait and see what actually happens. The next question comes from Nick Martini. You asked, what is a better show in your opinion, Game of Thrones or Walking Dead? Not favorite or what you like more, just which is better overall show in your opinion. So I'm going to be very biased because I haven't watched Game of Thrones, so I'm just going to say Walking Dead. But that being said, you would have to ask that from someone who has watched both shows. I haven't, so I don't know. The next question comes from David Sizemore again. You ask, after the new interview with Robert Kirkman about Season 8, do you think that it's possible that the old man Rick in the trailer is actually just him having a dream? And right after that, he wakes up and he has the casualties conversation with Michonne instead of Andrea like in the comics. I think that would be clever. So, one thing, I don't recall the conversation you're talking about, but just to answer your question, I think it's definitely possible for that to be a dream sequence. I already did a standalone video talking about that and kind of discussed that, but it's definitely possible. It doesn't have to be something to do with a new beginning. It would be underwhelming if it is a dream sequence, for me at least, but it's definitely an option. It's definitely a possibility. The last question comes from David Farley. You ask, why do you think The Walking Dead has so much viewership than Fear the Walking Dead? Shouldn't they be the same? No, of course not. They shouldn't be the same because they are two different shows. People may like one and not the other. And the reason I think why people don't like Fear or haven't liked Fear, because it's not as interesting, as exciting as the original show. And they haven't done anything to make it feel different, make it feel unique, and for it to stand on its own. And that's why it hasn't got the recognition that it wanted. But yeah, so going back to what you said about them being the same, let's look at it this way. We have Superman, we have Batman. They're both superhero movies, just like Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead are both zombie shows. But one may like Batman and not Superman. One might like Superman and not Batman. So that just shows that it's not the same thing. Even though they have the same concept, they're not the same show. You know, just to say something else, Fear and The Walking Dead are in the same universe. But that still doesn't mean that they're the same thing. But yeah, that was a great question as well. That's it for this Q&A video. Thank you for participating. If you want to participate in my next Q&A video, write your questions in the comment section below. Again, thank you everyone for supporting the channel and for your kind words on the last video that I posted discussing me leaving for a little bit, things like that. So see you next time for another super video.